Good Thursday morning, everyone. I am taking advantage of the beautiful sunny day and doing our lesson on my back porch. We're going to continue talking about weather today and do a rainbow experiment and do some weather poetry. So to start, I wanted to read again a little poem that we read about a month ago on the first day of spring, called The Rainbow Fairies. Two little clouds one spring day went flying through the sky. They went so fast they bumped their heads and both began to cry. Old Father Sun came out and said, "Oh, never mind, my dears. I'll send along my little fairy folk to dry your sad tears." One fairy came in violet and one in indigo, and blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. They all made a pretty row. They wiped the cloud tears all away, and then up from out of the sky, upon a line a sunbeam made, and they hung their gowns to dry. Today is Thursday, April the 15th. Go and check out your weather window. Mine's way upstairs in the attic, so I'm not going to show that to you today, but don't forget to make your tally mark. I think if I remember correctly, you can definitely put a tally mark in the sunny column today, and that will make 2 sunny days we've had so far this week. The temperature definitely feels greater than 40 degrees. The high today, the highest the temperature will get is 53. So is 53 degrees greater than or less than 40 degrees? And if you said greater than, you are correct. So for the lesson today, you're going to need your journal. You're going to need something to write with. And then later for our science experiment, you're going to need a pitcher of water. You're going to need a CD, and you're going to need a clear container. This is a clear plastic Tupperware container. Let's do our journaling and creative writing first. I have a book here, and this is called Weather Words. We've been talking a lot about weather, and I might have used some words throughout our lessons that might not be familiar to you. So I'm going to go through this book right now. I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'm going to read the important weather words to you. And your job is to pick 3 of these words, and I want you to write them in your journal. I want you to listen for the sounds in the words and make the letters that match those sounds. So I'm not going to show you what the words are. I'm just going to read the words to you, and I want you to pick 3 of them to write in your journal. And a lot of times when we do this, we also draw pictures to match the words. So if you decide you want to choose the weather word windy or wind, you would need to draw a picture of the wind. If you decided you wanted to use the weather word wet, you would need to draw a picture of something wet. So listen closely for the words. Temperature. Temperature. Air pressure. Air pressure. Moisture. Moisture. wind, wind, mild, chilly, hot, cold, humid, humid, dew, dew, frost, frost, vapor, vapor, clouds, clouds, fog, fog, rain, rain, drizzle, drizzle, floods, or flood, flood. And the last one we'll do is rainbow, rainbow. Okay, so your assignment is to choose 3 of those weather words that I read, write them by listening to the sounds and sounding out the word in your journal, and make an illustration to go with each of those words. If you want to take it further, do research on each one of your weather words and learn one new thing about each of them. I'm going to ask you to push pause now so that you can take time to maybe play back the weather words and do that activity in your journal. Okay, so now we're going to do some creative writing. So you'll still need your journal. Still need your journal. And of those 3 weather words that you chose for this activity, I want you to choose one of those words. Okay, I think I'm going to choose for mine my weather word is thunder. So write your weather word at the top of your paper. Now, if you want to get fancy, since this is a fun creative writing activity that we're going to be writing a poem, you could do this on a beautiful piece of paper. You could even watercolor a big piece of paper as your background and then write your poem on the watercolor art that you make. Or you can just do it in your journal. It's just up to you to get as creative as you'd like. But the first thing we'll need to do is think of your weather word. Mine is thunder. I'd like to encourage you all to choose something different. And so once you get your weather word, I want you to think of 3 colors. 3 colors that remind you or that come to mind when you think of your weather word. Then I want you to think of 2 sounds that you think of when you think about your weather word. Now, If your weather word is the sun does not make a sound, right? So you would need to think of something that reminds you of what the sun might sound like. If birds chirping reminds you of the sun, then that's a sound. That could be something you write. If jumping in the pool, in the swimming pool, is a sound that reminds you of the sun, then that would be your sound. Thunder is an easy one because thunder makes sound, but your weather word might not. So you'll need to do some more creative thinking, some more creative writing. Okay, so we've got 3 colors, 2 sounds, next I want you to think of one feeling that you feel when you think of your weather word. When I hear thunder, when I think of thunder, I feel nervous because I know a storm is coming. That's a feeling. You might like thunder, so you might feel excited, and that could be your feeling word. Okay, so the last line of our weather poem is you're going to make a sentence with your weather word. And your sentence can start I like blank because why? Or I don't like blank because. So this blank is where you'll put your weather word. So with mine, I could say, I like thunder because I like the sound it makes. Or I could say, I don't like thunder because it makes me scared, or something like that, okay? So this is your assignment. I'm going to write my poem, and I would like for us to share these on our Facebook page at some point this afternoon, okay? All right, you can push pause again on the video so that you can work on your weather poem, or it could be something that you want to work on later in the afternoon, and that's okay. But go ahead and push pause now so you can get your science experiment things ready. Okay. So we're going to go back to our weather word book. I'm going to flip to the page about thunder and lightning and storms. Thunderstorm. Thunderstorms are scary. Lots of tiny drops of water whip around inside the cloud at very high speed. Do you remember in the book yesterday how it talked about water in the clouds at the same time? Some can be going up and some can be going down, all at the same time, very, 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 very fast. And that is what makes the clouds grow bigger. When the water drops rub and bump against each other, they make electricity. Do you remember from the book yesterday about why that is? Do you remember inside each of those water droplets is a tiny, tiny charge. A tiny, tiny charge or a tiny piece of electricity. So when the water droplets bump into each other, they make more electricity. When enough electricity builds up, it bursts through the clouds and flashes. This is called lightning. Lightning is very hot. It heats the air around it. The hot air expands and boom! It makes a loud noise called thunder. Thunder, lightning. It could also be one of your weather words for your poem. Now everyone loves looking at a rainbow. Rainbows may happen while it is raining or just after the rain stops. When sunbeams shine through drops of rain, the light breaks into 7 different colors, and then a rainbow appears. So those sunbeams, imagine the sunbeam like a long, straight, golden yellow line. Okay? And then when that line is shining down to the earth and it's raining, the raindrops bump into that line, but instead of bumping off of the line, the raindrops actually break the line into little pieces. And when that line gets broken up into little pieces, this says the light, the sunbeam, breaks up into different colors. And that's why we see a rainbow. So in our science experiment today, we're going to try to make a rainbow. I bet everyone has probably done something like this before. I can even see rainbows right now when I turn my CD and look at it in the sunlight. So this is really a fun experiment to just sort of play around with. And I can even see rainbows on the screen right now. It's a fun, see how many different ways you can make rainbows using a CD and water and the sun. Today's a perfect day to do this because the sun is shining. If you want to do this later this evening or tomorrow when it's supposed to be raining, you can do the same thing, except instead of the sunlight, you can use a flashlight. Now, when I stick my CD into the water, I'm not sure if you can see it on your screen, but when I look down into my water, I can see a rainbow. Now the position of the sun right now is just so that the sun is hitting my CD, and so that sun's light is bouncing off the CD and reflecting down into the water. And so think about what we just talked about. The sun's beam is shining down, it's hitting this CD, and when I look at its reflection in the water is breaking up that sunbeam, and I can see a rainbow. I don't know if you can see it or not from your screen, but I know that if you do this experiment today at home, you'll be able to see a rainbow at the bottom of your dish. So have fun with rainbows today. And I am excited to read everybody's weather poem that I hope that you will take time and share with everyone today on our Facebook page. I hope you can get out and play in the nice sunshine, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow you'll need things to make our rainbow, I don't remember what I called it. We're going to do some art with rainbows, so you'll need watercolor, and if you don't have watercolor, you can use food coloring, but you'll need some kind of white fabric, so a pillowcase or an old handkerchief or something to make a rainbow flag. Okay, have a great day.